Hey y'all, it is your favorite nerdy girl here, Nerdygirlreviews, and we are back with another recap for Interview with the Vampire Season 3. Actually, it's not. My bad. It is actually titled now The Vampire Lestat. We are moving away from the Interview with the Vampire because the book is already out in this series. And now we start season 3 with the perspective of our beloved Lestat character. And I will say it was so worth the wait. Sam Reed, oh my God, honey. Gorgeous from top to bottom. But aside from the fact that he is just beautiful to look at, all of our characters are back, and I think some more are expected throughout the season. I think we might see Claudia again. Um, and we're introduced to new characters. We have our Louie, which, by the way, this is going to be full of spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, again, watch and come back. But spoiler alert, we begin our episode, which again, 56 minutes, not bad. And I'm so thankful I got AMC Plus. This is not a plug, but it was just so I was able to watch it early, unlike Euphoria that I had to wait till late. I hated that about HBO Max. But AMC Plus, I get a year subscription and I get the episode early. So I was able to watch it early and then now rewatch it again. I was just kind of waiting for everybody to watch so I could chime in. At first couple of seconds we revisit it's almost like they're in a airport hangar or something like that, and there's donations that are being auctioned of Lestat's work. One is all of his notebooks, and we see this with rock stars, where they got the inspirations from, where they jotted down their ideas to create the beautiful music that we know. But again, one of the major laws is, it comes to vampires, you are not to reveal certain things about yourself or secrets. So even though it went into auction, before it went into auction, they had instructions to burn burn all of it. And then I think it was donated for something measly. The other option that was up for auction was almost like a whole stereo that had turntables and his music, Lestat's music, on vinyl, and of course, blood. And something else, I forget, I think actual wine from I don't know how many decades ago. And that goes into bidding. We see Louis and Armand both bidding at the same time. We even see, I forget the organization that was trying to help Daniel throughout the whole process. I forget their name, but they were there too to bid. And then we kind of go through, and I guess whoever did win the bidding, you hear almost a soundtrack of what Lestat's interpretation of what Interview with the Vampire meant to him. And so now we're seeing the other perspective, another point of view, because up until this point we've only been narrated by Louis. And we pick up almost where we left off in season 2, where Louis and Lestat reunite. Lestat mentions that he wanted to be a musician. And unlike the movies, which again, I'm thankful for the movie, we had Aaliyah playing Akasha, and that very famous costume, which I'm not entirely sure we're going to get for this. So I think they pay homage. I think there's subtle hints that remind us of the movie. And no shade to Korn's, lead singer, but it just doesn't compare. I like this style of rock that they chose for Lestat. Very reminiscent of Iggy Pop. And even contemporary acts. I mean, I can't say they're playing into like Kings of Leon or anything like that, but the hair, something about the presence, the fact that the stage presence that Lestat has on the show, and he's bona fide rock star. I give him props, man. He can do so many accents and knows French, even if he's working with a dialect. Like, I just don't, like, for one moment feel like it's being put on for me. Um, and then he goes into playing his violin or yeah, it just, like, I feel like it's reminiscent to a lot of contemporary rock bands that will incorporate other elements of music and instruments. Unlike Prince, I feel like Prince was definitely a connoisseur of multitude of instruments, and that's great to see. But also we see back history of how the band became, because he was working on being a musician. He was playing his piano and kind of reconnecting with Louis. Louis sounds like he's in Canada, and he keeps telling him to come to him like he's always said before. But then on Halloween, we find out that a book had been released around that time. And then that's when we see Lestat dissecting and maybe even being inspired when he also can't stand this garage band that's across the street from where he lives, and he just can't. He's always been a stickler when it comes to notes and perfectionism, and then he breaks into that band's rehearsal and apartment and tells them how to really play. And then that's how we see him foster a relationship of becoming a rock star. And now we fast forward, and he is a full-blown rock star with a fan base that's evolving and growing. We see them on a typical tour bus and going from state to state, and he gets his fix on, and people still don't necessarily know that he is doing what he's doing. Like, he flirts with the crowd, and somebody he selects will be his food for the night. But again, like we left off with season 1, sorry, where Louis was being harassed, and when the book released, was it season 2? No, season 2 is how it ends, and the possibility of them harming Louis. Now we're seeing it with Lestat, because Lestat's going full blown. I'm out here. I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm a vampire. Wink, wink, and nudge, nudge. And we're introduced to a Fang gang. and, I will say, though, for my next review, I'm going to try to do it earlier. I have fangs from Party City. Was it Party City that I got it from? No, Spirit Halloween. So I'm going to try to see if I can put those puppies in. But I am paying homage to Lestat with this beautiful pink. Oh my God, I love the clothes that he wore, especially towards the end of this episode, which I love me a man who's confident enough to rock something like a nice satin, almost opaque pink. And his outfit was fire. That's something I want to wear. It was like a nice open shirt with a corset after he played a venue, and then he was supposed to do like a little intro to this hotel where he's staying. He also had picked a girl from the crowd, drained her accidentally. He got high because she had been massively high at the show. Brings her back, and that's why I say there's little hints of them paying homage to the movie, because even though I don't believe she's going to be an love interest to him, and they are able to resuscitate her and revive her, she has these cute little like knots in her hair that remind me of how Interview with the Vampire, the sequel movie, and that actress had these, like, that particular hairstyle. But we see the entrance, and I believe the introduction of his mother, Gabriela, and I believe she may be his lover too. Oh my God, very Sleepwalkers. If you know that movie, you know what I'm talking about. So I will come back with another review, but if you haven't been watching, you need to watch. This is a must-see. Vampire Lestat on Amazon.